So, all right, well, cool, man. Thanks so much, Oliver, for taking the time to be here, obviously, and and take the time to meet. It didn't get recorded at the team meeting. I'm just gonna hit record on this. So you already know about some of this, and a lot of people that'll watch this would do already, right? And again, our team meeting recording didn't happen, so I'm just gonna hit this hard and fast, okay? So I want to bring up just some dates. This slide, you took a picture of probably twice, right? At a meeting and then at the SC1 conference. So we had our team meeting. This is the one that didn't get recorded. We got this really important meeting coming up on Monday. It's from 9 to 2, 5 hours. And these two meetings in every summer in Vector, they're two of the most pivotal meetings because it's probably the deepest we can go in a training sense. Like really get into ultimate set selling, really get into signature set and how to close, how to start at the top, move down to the homemaker. And remember, when we sell people on the ultimate and the signature, we actually sell way more homemakers. We actually sell way more homemakers and galleys because it's so easy to drop down, but we really get deep into the weeds on how to do this. We have guest speakers that will talk about really how to cook, how to sell cookware and how to sell flatware. And we get deeper into that stuff, right? Not just like a Champs Club for 20, 30 minutes, right? But it's like an hour or two. And we really get deep into that. Also, in this meeting, we really get deeper into how to get a push period in 17 days. Because we had what, 5 people, 6 people that SC1 sell over 10 grand. But it would not surprise me if we have 20 people sell over 12.5 thousand and get that swag that you might have seen at the conference. And then actually at the team meeting, Patrick wore the shirt. 12.5 is a level, and then 15 grand is a level. And then there's the 20K, 30K pushes. And we've had multiple reps do that in those 17 days. So what these meetings are designed to do is really get you trained in getting some really big orders and then really getting good at selling, like honestly, Oliver, like 80 to 90%, not 60, but where you really get good at like lists and building up the like list. Sometimes in the beginning, a new rep is like, well, what do you want to get when they already have Cutco, especially when they already have Cutco, and they don't know really how to do it. So building the like list with a Cutco owner, while it seems like they should buy everything, the rep is not very well equipped to get a big like list. They don't know how to get to big like lists. And so the customer's like, well, I know I want this and I know I want that. And then the rep either sells that or the customer's like, well, that's $200-300 for like 3 things, 2 knives. I don't know if I can do that. And they go 60%. But when you get better at building the like list bigger and then dropping down, just like you drop homemaker galley starters, you actually can take a $1,600 like list or $5,000, $2,000 like list, drop down to 1,500 and then drop down to 700 or 900. And then you sell 700 on the appointment that before now, Oliver, you probably sold 200 when you get better at like list selling. And so we teach you two things besides some recommendations and how to have more names to call, which that's a lot of times a concern for a lot of people is I don't have enough people to call. Well, in these two meetings, we'll teach you how to have 200 to 300 people to call. And then so that's a lot of demos. Then we'll teach you how to close bigger orders and we'll teach you how to sell 80 to 90% because you actually close on deals or sales that you wouldn't have closed. And you get better at building like lists and get better at selling, whether it's the top and highest like list or dropping down from that to this and from that to this. And you sell a lot in the middle. And that's why these meetings are so pivotal for the summer. Again, this is Wednesday coming up, and then in the following Tuesday. And then we have the push kickoff meeting. Again, you have this slide. Most people have this slide. So the push kickoff meeting is the midday on Monday, the 14th. But we have what's called an all-day phone jam. Now, we call it an all-day phone jam because all of Vector, except for our division, like literally all of the whole company, except for like our division and maybe Big Sky division, what we do is we do an all-day call day. Everyone else in the company, like I was saying, they do an all-day Sunday, the 13th in there, the 13th. They do an all-day call day. Literally, they start at 8 a.m., Oliver, and they go till 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And they take like 2 breaks, usually like a lunch break and then like a kickball dinner break. They literally play kickball. It's hilarious, pickleball or whatever. And they go like 12, 14 hours of phoning with a couple breaks. Whereas we do a phone jam Saturday night, usually Saturday for 4 hours. And then we go Monday for 4 hours before this meeting, like from 8 to 12. And then after dinner, like 5:30 after dinner to like 9 p.m. Now, Oliver, if you sat down for 4 hours on Saturday on the 12th, and then 4 hours on Monday morning before this meeting, then you get excited about in everything in the push. And then we have another 4 hour phone jam. Dude, if you only book two demos an hour, you'll go into the push, which starts on the 15th, really. Sorry, this is like a misprint. On the 15th, you'll go into that day with like 24 demos already booked for the push. Okay, 12 hours of phoning with 2 hours, two demos per hour. That's not even a lot. That'd be 24 demos. And that might be more than you've done in your career. I don't even know. You're probably at 20, 30, 40 demos, right? Maybe in your career. But you'll have that many set for 3 days. Like you'll have 7 to 10 demos on Tuesday, the 15th. You'll have 7 to 10 demos on Wednesday. You'll have 4 to 6 demos on the Thursday before the team meeting. And then again, skip ahead 17 days. You got the push or the conference, excuse me. And then we'll have a meeting where we talk about Leadership Academy. And then we have the Donut Falls event. The Conference of Champions is what we call it. And then we have the trip to Olean. Now you're going to be in the MTC, right? So let me just quickly tell you a couple more things. We'll go fast. Brett Roy, he was only at 5 grand. You're not very much ahead of him, I don't think. I'm not sure, right? He was only at 5 grand when he showed up to the conference or showed up to the push, but he participated in all that stuff that's for the alliance, right? The alliance is the people that go hard for the push. And at 6 grand, he joined the alliance, right? And then he, in 16 days, what took him 7 weeks to make $900, he made 3,800 in 17 days. Okay, let me go ahead and skip these three paychecks I want to show you. But Colleen took 11 weeks to sell 17 grand and made some money. That's a pretty good amount of money in 11 weeks. But then in 16 days, she tripled her sales, and in 16 days made 14 grand. So whether it was $3,800 that you would make in a push, or in her case, she made, wow, geez, okay, come on. All right. She made 12, 13, 14 grand, right, in the push. And you're here. So if you were to sell 15 grand in the push, you'd make 4 or 5,000 before your mission. Just in 16 days, 17 days. If you were at 10 grand by the time we started the push, you'd make 5 grand, right? If you were at 20 grand, you'd make 6 grand almost, right? And my point is, these meetings that we have coming up, which is really all those blue meetings that I just showed you on that one slide that everyone's got a picture of, right? But really to go big for the push, the best things that we have available in Vector, right? If you want good money before your mission, you should join the Alliance. If you want good money before you go to school, you should join the Alliance. And if you want to have a lot of fun, this is where we have a ton of fun. When you're selling Cutco and taking the job that seriously in 17 days, it's unbelievably fun. All right, let me pause. And I know you got to go. So, right? So I paused, so you could get to your demo. But Oliver, we can talk more about this. I'll finish the recording. You can bolt. Okay. Why don't you give me a call after? Just, I may or may not even be able to talk that much because we're going to dinner in about an hour with those people that sold 10K in their fast star. We got 4 people, Bree and Holden and Kenzie and Trace, hit 10K. So we're gonna have that dinner. If we don't talk tonight, we can talk Monday morning. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Patrick will be with me at dinner. So if you call Patrick, but he's probably gonna be sitting right next to me. So let us know what you sell, dude. Go sell a homemaker. All
Okay.
right. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, dude. I appreciate
See ya.
you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yep. Okay. So, guys, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back for this recording's purpose here, and I'm going to show those paychecks. Nick Fiesler, okay, these are his actual paychecks. Nick Fiesler, now it was his second career push period. So these are some higher numbers, but some of you went through SC1 or you've gone through another push period before, and you kind of get it. But look at week 1 of the push. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 orders. If you think that many of you don't work on Sunday, that's 18 orders, 6 days. So that's only 3 orders a day. And if you think that's a lot, keep in mind, most of your career, you've probably done less than 3 demos a day. So that's why it seems like a lot. But when you're averaging 4 to 6 demos a day for 6 days, it would make total sense that you would have 3 orders minimum, average, right? So, he was, it doesn't matter if he was at 40 grand or 11 grand because he started the push. He started the push, what, 8 grand less than this number. So he started the push at 38 grand, which puts him at 35% or 40%. It doesn't really matter because none of these checks show his bonus. All of his pay on his orders was 30%. So if you start this push and you're only at 11 grand career sales, 10 grand career sales, you will be at 30%, just like Nick was. Okay, because weekly you always get 30% and then bonuses come if you're in bonus land. Well, you'll get into bonus land with a big push. But my point is 18 orders in 6 days is 3 orders a day. If you're doing 4 to 5 demos a day, you will sell 3 orders a day. And I'll remind you, if you don't think you're at that 75% average of selling 3 out of 4, it's because you've never done that many demos in one 7-day week or 6-day week. So when you do 6 times 4, 24 demos in a week, let's say, you don't sell 18 orders. I'd be flipping. I'd be like, what? How did you only sell 18 orders on 24 demos? That's crazy. Now, 24 demos in 24 days, you're not going to sell as much Cutco. 24 demos in 6 days is the key, right? So he made $2,600. He saved his assistant manager pay. He saved a little bit. Only saved a quarter of his money. So he saved $700 to $800 that week. His career, his withholdings went from 3,000 to almost, well, it was over 4,000. He was like $3,200. Add 800, he was at $4,000 in withholdings, and he received a $1,700 paycheck and put away $800, right? So that's some pretty exciting stuff. Week 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see the number of orders, right? I'm not going to count them right here. I just got to screen a call. He saved another grand. So he went from $3,900 income to $2,800 because he saved $900 or $1,000. His withholdings went from 4 grand to 5 grand. His career sales is now at 60 G's. Again, a couple weeks ago, he was at 38. Now he's at 60. So he's already sold 20 grand. Again, right in the middle here, probably about this order right there or right there, somewhere in there, he called me up. He's like, dude, I hit 15K. And it was the middle of the push. And it was very easy for me to say this to Nick. I said, how many demos did you commit to do? He's like, I committed to 50. I'm like, have you done 50? He's like, I've done like 22. I'm like, awesome. You're going to make so much cash in the next 8 more days. And I think that's what it was, 8 days left. And he's like, yep. And he kept booking demos. And I love that because you commit to a demo number, let the sales and the income and the numbers figure themselves out. But then the third week, it was only a Tuesday to Thursday week. Conference started on Friday. So he only had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This is actually pretty low. I'm surprised he only did this many orders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 orders. And you can see the first week he had another 16 or 18 orders. So the stats, remember, he's now at 6 grand in savings almost, still got 3 comma paychecks. Second push, he went from 38 grand to 65. He upped his sales goal in the middle because he committed to 50 demos. He completed 51. I love that he did 1 extra. He wound up with 42 orders. So again, an 82, 3, 4% sales ratio. He went from 51 demos, 42 orders, right? So it's about an 83, 84%. And he had sold $27,000 went through. 27,000. He had 1 order like cancel or something. I have no idea. But 20K, he got all the rock and the other things. His 3 paychecks were 6 grand, but then he got a bonus check the next week. And he saved in a matter of 3 doggone weeks, 3 paychecks, $2,400. That's unbelievable, right? He made over $12,000 that he earned, saved a couple thousand, 3,000 or whatever it was. And my question to everybody is, would you give it your all? Not for your career, not for the summer, not for 6 months, not for a tour of duty in Iraq or into Afghanistan. We're talking about 17 days selling knives. And what did he commit to? 50 demos. Take 51 demos, because that's what he did, divided by 17 days. It's 3 demos done per day. He wasn't averaging 4 and 5 and 6 demos. You take 17 days and divide 50 demos, 51, You literally get, he only averaged 3 demos a day. And in the course of those 3 weeks, 2.5, 17 days, he got 42 orders. Here's Colleen. Again, she made $14,000. And the thing about it is, while this money is really important, I think money is the number one reason we all got the job, because I wanted money when I got the job. But the real reason we stick around, the real reason I stuck around, the real reason why anybody goes hard for this push, the money comes automatically when you push. Like your income goes through the roof when you push. But the real reasons, again, all these functions, all these champs clubs, and we have Saturday meetings on the push. I'll look at the schedule, is this. The things that you want from Cutco, period, end of story. The things that you wanted and want today, you always get the absolute heightened best fulfillment of those needs or goals or what you want from the job. The highlight of that comes in the push. Because when you're working the job like a real job and pushing yourself, forget a job. Who likes a job? Nobody likes a job. When you're working it like an obsession, not for your life, not for the summer, not forever, it's 17 days. You're obsessed with something when you're in the playoffs in sports. It's all like you don't even think about school. You're just all about football. You're all about basketball, whatever your game is. You're just all about it. You skip stuff when you're in the push period of stage crew putting on the school play. The stage crew is in a push period, and the most fun on stage crew, football team, Cutco, always happens when you're obsessed with something for a short period of time. So if you're looking for a lot of fun this summer, you should be on the Alliance. If you're looking to grow your resume, if you're looking to grow the opportunity to get on Leadership Academy, to get into key staff, to maybe have a chance to tour Olean, to maybe think, wow, what would it be like to do what Connor and Anthony did this summer? What would it be like to do what Phil did in 1999? What would it be like to do what Bucky did in 2003? What would it be like 2002? What would it be like to do what Jesse did in 2017, 18? Right? And it was 17. And like, and what Patrick did in 2023, right? To run an office 1 year from now, it'd be pretty fired up. Would you like to grow yourself? I'm serious when I say I bet every single person who achieves their goal in the push will have days where they cry, days where they have to push through the BS, push through that stupid customer, push through throwing their back out in basketball, which is what I did this morning. Okay, push themselves through to gain and grow yourself and to gain a victory in life. And remember, your life will be way harder than selling Cutco. So you're setting yourself up for future millions of dollars of income, millions of moments of enjoyment in your life because you learn to push yourself through and make great things happen. Achievers, right? Are believers. Believers are achievers. People that push themselves achieve. People that go all out achieve. People that make it happen are the ones that push through these hard things. And again, first world problems, selling knives, doing 50 demos on Zoom or on your computer or with a customer in their kitchen. Nothing hard about that. But when you have a big goal, it is hard. The push is the hardest thing most of you will ever have done, especially in a limited time of 17 days. And so that's why you want to be on the Alliance. And if you're looking to have these experiences that later in life will fortify your ability to cover and figure out when someone in your family gets sick with cancer. I've lost my sister and my dad to cancer. When, there's a hurricane or an earthquake and the crap hits the fan, you will have these experiences that you push yourself through when your child is sick with cancer in the hospital, when you have a really hard time in your business, owning a business, in your job, with your kids, with your wife or husband. All these things will give you experience. And that's why you want to be on the Alliance. And you know what? We want you to push, even if you're not on the Alliance, even if you opt to not push so hard. By the way, the Alliance are the people that we really hold accountable. The Alliance are the people that come to the meeting every morning at 7:30. The Alliance are the people that stay up late, go to bed late, get up early. They're the ones that push themselves harder. They're the ones that commit to a demo number, 50, 60, 40 at minimum, right? Or whatever. And if you can't commit to those things, and you can't get to most of these functions, you can still push. And we actually need you. So just because you're not going to potentially maybe be on the Alliance, we want you to come to those meetings, right? We want you to come to the meetings, absolutely. but we also want you to help us push, even if you can't be on the alliance. I know there's a couple of you that'll be out of town for a good 7 to 10 days. And although Connor did it, he pushed for the time that he had. He sold 17 grand and he didn't even have the whole push. He didn't have all 17 days. But then some people, like Anthony, he pushed all the way through all 17 days and he hit it the last night, the morning of the conference, he hit it. And so we're looking for people that can help us win the Silver Cup for the Salt Lake City office, help Salt Lake North have the biggest and best summer that they're already having, but the biggest and best summer of their career. And again, Provo, Southern Rockies, Park City, and the Ogden team. And you know what? Next summer, we want to have 12 offices in the division borders. We want to put offices in Nevada. We want to put offices in Idaho, in Montana, but we want to have people in our divisions, 12 plus managers and 30 plus assistant managers. So we're looking for people that are in for advancement, for income, for fun, for growth, for experience, for all the things that you want to get in Cutco. So be at the meeting on Monday, 9 to 2. Unless you're within 95, outside of 90 minutes of the office, just drive to the office. A 5-hour meeting will be worth it, I promise. So be there in person at the Salt Lake Sandy office. If there's a watch party in the Ogden or the Provo area, then you could go to that office and watch. But I just feel like it's better to be in the fire pit with the fired up people. Okay. And then the second one is the 8th of July. And then there's the division meeting on the 14th, but there's those the phone jams on the 12th and then the 14th to go all out for the push. Guys, when you want to be successful, you're going to learn these habits. Replacing personal, professional, inner, spiritual, mental doubt in yourselves with confidence that you can achieve because you push yourself through this and you cry about the goal. We want you to fail so that you learn the lessons. You'll mess up and you're like, I could have sold Ultimate. I could have sold a flatware set. Doggone it. I should have worked on that. Right. And you'll get rid of these hesitancies. Right? And you'll get over it with action, right? You'll deflect what you used to might have placed blame on the universe, on your customers, on something, and you'll take responsibilities like, man, I'm actually not good at selling. I'm actually not good at dropping down. I'm not good at building a like list. You'll take responsibility for those things. Hey, I'm actually lazy, Phil. I sleep in too much. And you'll get rid of it and you can take responsibility for what you want to be in life. And you can get rid of, and you will grow in your relationships with customers, with your manager, with people in the team, and you'll grow your people skills, which will help you later in life. You have to get over some hard things, right? And again, get rid of bad habits. Nothing is good on Netflix for your, future, right? And again, you can get rid of excuses and get reasons to succeed. Remember, you don't need motivation. People that need motivation are on this side of it. These are the people that need to get motivated to get off Netflix or off their phone. People that have commitment, these are the people that are successful. People that have commitment. You don't need motivation. You need commitment to a goal of a good relationship with your spouse, a goal of a good relationship with your future companion in your mission, right? Or goal with relationships with people you work with, people you serve, right? So we're building towards, you can't see it, but Olean. Can't see it. That's so weird. It's like whited out. But we have a trip to Olean in September. We're looking for leaders. Let me remind you, you have to save at least $1,000 in vector savings, and you have to be at least at 10,000. So some of you are going to sell 15 or 20 grand in the push. You ought to be at 30 or more thousand by the time we go to Olean, and you'll have $5,000 saved. Some of you have 5,000 or $8,000 saved. Remember this week, this week, this is going to be recorded, but I'll just say we have a contest going on this week. If you make it on the newsletter, you're getting a steak knife. And let's go in, guys. Let's go everybody. Like, we want you here. Okay. Thank you so much for your time and your observing of this here video. All right. I will see you guys at the team meeting and on Champs Club. Peace.